We are making bread, and I have some tips for you today. One of the breads that I'm making, I've got 2 bowls going, is going to be a rosemary herb, and I'm using our rosemary herb rub. And I made this last week. Oh my God, if you had smell-o-vision, you would have jumped out and grabbed a piece because it was so fantastic. And then on top of that, I have some of my enrichables. I have a mix box here. I know what it says. And one of them is going to get the kale and fiber in it, so it's going to be a little bit green. The other one is getting the pea protein in it, and I wanted to show this to you. It's just a way to up your protein. So the pea protein is yellow. You would never know it's in there. And the kale and fiber, I made this in a double batch a few weeks ago, and it was a pale green, so I'm not going to add the whole kale package to it. I'm going to put the rest in a smoothie tomorrow, so it's going to get about half of it in here. So that's the kale and fiber. This one has the pea and the protein, and I'm just going to mix it up a little bit. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was when you're measuring your flour, when you're making bread. And one of the issues is that years and years and years ago, our grandparents, great-grandparents, they always sifted their flour. And we don't do that anymore. We tend to just grab our scoop, put it in the flour, and think that that's okay. But if you sifted a cup of flour and scooped a cup of flour and then weighed it, they would be very, very different. I've actually done this myself. So it's not the same measurement if it calls for something sifted. Now, most people don't have a sifter, so the next best thing to it is to be taking your flour and putting it into your cup like this instead of scooping it, because when you scoop it, you pack it down. When you go like this, it's closer, not the same as sifting, but it's closer to sifting than what if you didn't sift it. So this is a magic word video that I'm going to use in one of my virtual parties. If you've never joined, you should. And I want to show you this dough, because what's going to happen with it, it's this is the morning. We're actually going to let this sit. I want you to look at the consistency of it and what it looks like. This is going to sit covered up on the counter. It doesn't matter how warm your kitchen is, but it's going to sit there for at least a good 6 hours. And then I will have another video that's going to show you what happens with that. And I use our silicone covers to cover the bowl, and I close the little hole so that it's closed, and we're going to let it sit on the counter. And then the next video will show you what I do with it. Well, actually, yeah. I'm going to come back in a second and show you the kale and fiber and show you what it looks like. So this bowl is the one that has the kale and fiber in it. And I'll get it all mixed up and then I'll show it to you. It has this very pale green tinge to it. And unless someone knew that I had added the kale and fiber to it, they wouldn't really go, ew, it's green bread. Although my kids did, but I think someone tipped them off at Thanksgiving that I had done that. And I'm like, oh, okay, who told them? Because they would not know. A girlfriend of mine on Pepper Chef, she did this with her husband, and she makes this artisan bread for him constantly. And he did not know at all. He did not see the difference. You don't have any taste from our enrichables. They just add the nutritious factor and a little bit of green color if it's the kale and fiber. So, does that look super green to you? Probably not. So, the magic word for this video, which will be run together, is sifter. Okay? So, make sure you private message me the word sifter, not putting it in the party, because then you'll be giving it away to other people, but the message is sifter.